Coach, for the limited amount of practice time you guys had together, how did you think Jimmy fared with everybody?
I mean, I give credit to Orlando. You know, they made some tough shots at the end. They went on that run when it mattered. I thought that our guys, you know, were up and down, just trying to figure each other out. It's normal. But I think in general there are certainly some good things that came out of it. You're disappointed to lose with Jimmy's first game, but there are a lot of good things you could see that can happen.
How do you think Jimmy fit in tonight?
I mean, it's hard. He comes in and, you know, he's trying to do the right thing. You know, you're trying to put in some plays this morning and shoot around. He's trying to figure everybody else out there, trying to figure him out. And it's going to take time, you know, it's going to take time. I think in general, you sort of see what you have in him, and it's incredibly exciting.
What is that you see, that you saw there?
Just the stuff that you knew you were getting, just the toughness defensively. You know, he wants to guard and sit down and guard. Then you see him make athletic plays at the basket, and you can see how you can put Joel and him in certain actions and situations that as we practice, and, you know, they have sort of a greater familiarity than 24 hours, I can see some really good things happening, especially with those two together.
Before the game, it seemed like you and Jimmy had a brief conversation back here during the intros. What were some of the things that you wanted to impart to him? Was there a message you wanted to leave with beforehand?
Just general talk, you know, not anything specific, just making sure everybody understands that this takes time. And, you know, in some ways, the loss will find tremendous benefit out of it because it is the NBA. You don't just click your heels and win NBA games. You know, it takes patience and work and time, and we have that. We will use this as a way to remind everybody that it's the NBA.
Coach, you talked this morning about executing down the stretch. That might be where you implement Butler early on. How did you feel about the way you guys executed down those last 5 minutes?
Well, we had 3 turnovers. You know, we had 2 offensive fouls. One is beyond questionable to me. And I think that JJ stepping out of bounds, you know, hurt. We ended up with a good look out of it. But the three turnovers hurt. You know, we had them in the positions that we had hoped to have them in, but just those turnovers hurt.
What do you think happened during the fourth quarter, a nice run the whole fourth quarter? What do you see?
I mean, they made some tough shots. I thought the block on Joel, followed by a 3-ball, you know, was a tremendous momentum changer. Obviously, that shot at the end, when we go back, and I just did see the contest on that. That's a tough shot to make. And I think going down the stretch, to your point, you know, we just did not get a shot. You know, like we had 3 possessions where we just didn't get a shot.
Do you feel like Ben is comfortable when he goes to the free throw line late in games?
He sure looked it tonight. You know, I think going to the line, what he tied up 106. You know, during the game, he's never really looked like he didn't walk up to the line and want to shoot. He really, I've never really felt that. I think tonight, when it mattered, he was confident, walked up to the line, and made 2 free throws.
We see a lot of big points and rebound games from Joel, but his facilitating numbers were pretty high tonight. What allows him to be effective in that aspect of his game?
I think that he's becoming more comfortable with what's going on behind him, the patience, the floor spots, the detail of what's going on behind him. I think that, you know, he's not playing the game as fast in his own mind. I think he's letting the table get set, and I think he's playing with a tremendous amount of poise. He understands that perhaps one of the greatest compliments he could receive is that he's double-teamed a lot, almost every game in some way, shape, or form. And by and large, when you say, well, who gets double-teamed in the NBA, it's a really tiny fraternity. There aren't many people in that group. And he's one of them, and so he's learned how to navigate that and pass out of it, and so have we, so have his teammates. And he is a willing and skilled passer at this stage.
The way that Joel and Jimmy were connecting on the back door a couple of times, I think there was one with Ben and Jimmy. Obviously, these guys can play at the highest level. What's that say about the potential, the fact that there are already flashes of some unspoken communication between those guys?
I mean, you see it, and you saw it even in shoot-around. Jimmy, you know, really was trying to go out of his way to find Joe, and vice versa. And when you sort of like strip it down into just sort of simple action, they're going to be creative enough and skilled enough to find different things that coaching staffs don't expect. And I feel like although we lost, the organization of the tiny few things we put us in decent positions. If you can get 3 shots back instead of the 3 turnovers, maybe we're all talking to each other after a win. But I see tremendous promise and a tremendous fit from Jimmy into our system.
You gave Markel a good bit of run, particularly in the second half. What did you see from him tonight?
I thought he was, when we all study him as a point guard, and you study him personally, and you study the team while he is on the floor, I mean, albeit a small sample size, 16 games now, 15 games going into this one, it bears out. He's really good. He's a really good point guard. And so we played him exclusively as that tonight. And I saw him make plays out of a middle pick and roll, get into the paint, and, I thought made some fluid plays. He had that sneaky little putback underneath the basket. I thought that defensively he was good tonight as well.
What do you guys the focus on to stop giving up these leads? I mean, what's the central plan?
I mean, normally you're going to say, and I got to go back and look at it, normally you'd say that there was a connection of turnovers. I don't know if that's true tonight. When they went on their 20-whatever run, we had to call 2 timeouts to try to, arrest some of that. I'll go back and look at the tape. I think we'd all not be that wise if we didn't concede that some of it was you got a new person that's in the mix after 16 hours. And it's, I felt it. You look down and you're like wondering, what you're going to go to for a moment. You got to sort of sort out the group. It's not like you can go to your full package. It was a very tiny window. But it was enough. It was enough had we have executed some stuff and not turned it over. It was enough. But I do look forward to seeing where that lead evaporated.
Thanks, Brett.